This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on The South Today, an Invercargill architect says the decision to close the Southland Museum and Art Gallery is premature. Hip-hop artist Kendrick Lamar is expected to sell out Dunedin's stadium. And there's no moto like Snowmoto, as a Wanaka-based business begins to import snowbike technology to the country. Good evening, I'm Daryl Baser. An Invercargill architect is challenging the decision to close the Southland Museum and Art Gallery. Bob Simpson addressed the museum board on Thursday, saying the decision to close was based on incorrect assumptions. Sharon Rees reports.
Invercargill architect Bob Simpson addressed the Southland Museum and Art Gallery Trust Board on Thursday, saying there was no legal or structural reason for closing the museum. Backed up by structural engineer Lou Robinson, who presented his case by phone, Simpson told the board the seismic assessment report of the museum had been flawed.
The report has made two assumptions which we believe are wrong. The first one is that they've assumed the ground is worse than it is, and then the other thing is they used an occupancy class of C, that is how many people in the building or how big the risk is, and as Lou explained and I explained, that's also not the correct deal.
Simpson said if changes were made to the assumptions in the 2013 seismic report to account for soil class and occupancy class, the overall seismic rating of the building would jump to around 50% of the new building standards.
I can see no reason why the building couldn't be open for both the staff and the patrons on Monday. And I recommended in that paper that they guarantee the staff work for 6 months, while they actually do employ a competent engineer to do a report on the current standards, not some 1913 standards, which, as Lou explained, have been changed significantly.
He said a new web page and Facebook page challenging the decision to close could increase public pressure on the council and museum board.
We've now got a web page up called openthemuseum.com, an associated Facebook page and a petition, and the community pressure is building that some of those things might change. They might feel a bit more heat. The heat might be more significant than the risk of earthquake.
On behalf of the museum board, Darren Ludlow thanked both Simpson and Robinson for presenting their case and said there would need to be further investigation into some of the points raised. Sharon Rees, The South Today.
Work on Wanaka's new primary school in the Three Parks subdivision is due to begin later this year. Kim Shannon of the Ministry of Education told the Otago Daily Times the ministry is securing a design team to work on the school with a soon-to-be-appointed board of trustees. The school will be on a 3-hectare site between the new Wanaka Recreation Centre and Ballantyne Road. It's due to open in 2020. The announcement that hip-hop artist Kendrick Lamar will be performing in Dunedin has thrilled his fans. The South Today met up with some people on campus to see what they thought.
Move over Ed Sheeran, because rapper Kendrick Lamar is now scheduled to sell out Dunedin's Forsyth Bar Stadium in July. While some of Channel 39 staff confess to not knowing who Lamar is, the Pulitzer Prize-winning performer does have a following likely to fill Dunedin Stadium to capacity. OUSA events manager Jason Schroeder hopes the concert will tie in with the mid-year student reorientation party.
I guess logistically it's possible that it will fit within what happens that we do reorientation. We'll offer marketing support for them. And yeah, we have a really close working relationship with Live Nation. And because this is a really student orientated event, they always ask us for help.
Christian Tucker is a big fan of Lamar and was thrilled to find out about the upcoming concert.
It was crazy. It was the first thing I woke up to this morning. I checked my phone and my Facebook feed was just full of all these notifications of everyone hitting me up and it was the first thing I did. I was just sharing to all my mates and making sure when the tickets actually came out, which is this Monday, and yeah, just making sure I can be there, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
And Schroeder says he will be attending the performance as well.
Absolutely, yeah, I'm personally a big fan, so yeah, I've seen him before.
Kendrick Lamar's Dunedin concert is scheduled for the 17th of July. Rudy Adrian, The South Today.
Dunedin's Toitu Otago Settlers Museum is displaying clothing made by a local fashion designer. The museum's contemporary designer case will exhibit traditional garments which have been turned into a modern style using feathers, hand-printed silks and hand-woven natural fibres. The clothes were made by Amber Bridgman and will be on public display for a year. A Wanaka-based mechanic is bringing new snowbike technology called a Snowmoto to New Zealand for this winter. The hiring out of Snowmotos will launch on South Island slopes in July. Mina Amso has the story.
It's like a dirt bike, but on snow. This $20,000 snow bike technology can go fast, up to 70 kilometers per hour or more, and is the new way to have fun on the slopes. Palmerston North mechanic Hamish Goodall imported 7 snow bikes from Canada and says they are good for all snow conditions, from ice to deep powder.
This is a KTM 450 based on a dirt bike. Pretty easy to swap over. This is electric start, so you can you've already got all your battery and stuff if you want to add hand warmers, lights.
Goodall's love for dirt bikes led him to snow bikes while working in Calgary, Canada. They are a combination of a normal trail bike with a skid on the front and a snowmobile type track on the back. It is engineered to be lightweight, using carbon fibre, titanium and other alloys.
At the back, so this is all carbon fibre tunnel, a 12-inch snow track there with the 2.5-inch lugs, based on a snowmobile track.
Goodall will launch a snow bike rental business in July and is now working on the health and safety aspects of running a tour business. Snow kits for the bikes range in price from $6,000 to $12,000. The technology developed in North America is now making its way to New Zealand. The possibilities to have fun on the slopes will be endless. Mina Amso, The South Today.
Still to come on The South Today, a new bishop is ordained in Dunedin, and Southern Institute of Technology nursing students celebrate a milestone.
For all your news from the southern regions as it happens, go to our Facebook page. The South Today, connecting you with your community thanks to New Zealand On Air.
Why wait for seed to germinate? Why not do it the smart way? For instant results, call Ready Lawn today, or for more information, go to readylawn.co.nz.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Garrador Dunedin, delivering quality stylish garage doors in Dunedin for over 15 years. New doors, replacement doors, repairs and maintenance are all part of Garrador's quality service. Garrador Dunedin offers a full range of modern quality doors to suit any home. Come visit the team at 553 Kaikoura Valley Road. Visit www.garrador.co.nz or call us on 488 5676.
helping New Zealanders to do more. Talk to MTF today.
At the Hard to Find Bookshop, we sell quality books on all subjects, from the rare to the recent, and where viable, we will come to you. We have a great reputation for integrity and honesty, so if you're downsizing or sorting an estate and have books to sell, contact us.
At Action Engineering, the team make their mark as innovators in engineering because they don't just make things, they provide solutions. Call now on 477 1643 or go online to see the services they provide.
Welcome back. Crowds turned up to see the ordainment of Michael Dooley as the new Catholic Bishop in Dunedin's Town Hall yesterday. The South Today was amongst the congregation.
Around 1,000 people filled Dunedin's Town Hall on Thursday to watch the spectacle of red and white cassock-wearing church elders ordain Michael Dooley as the new Catholic Bishop of Dunedin. Dooley told the audience the ordainment felt a long way from the Southland farm where he grew up. He said he had been stressing over a number of things, not least of which was the new motto for his coat of arms, before a late-night epiphany to use the phrase, "Trust in God." Rudy Adrian, The South Today.
4 decades worth of nursing staff and graduates gathered in Invercargill on Thursday to celebrate a milestone. The 40th anniversary of nursing at the Southern Institute of Technology saw nursing graduates from 1978 returning to the Institute to see how much has changed. Sharon Rees investigates.
Some of the Southern Institute of Technology's original nursing students returned to Invercargill on Thursday to see how much has changed in 40 years. The 40th anniversary of nursing at the Institute saw generations of nursing students celebrating the milestone.
We have a collective mixture of nursing educators and former nursing students, and some of our current students come to celebrate and mark this milestone. I think some of the former educators and former students that are here will be really surprised by the nursing suite. So the nursing students will take them on tours up to our new simulation suite, and it is actually first years in class, so they'll get to see how it works now and the changes that they will notice.
An apple tree was planted outside of Hanson Hall at the Institute by former educators and current students to mark the occasion.
The tree was an acknowledgement of people that have been before that maybe aren't here today, but also it's an apple tree, so kind of the idea that students later on can come back and take an apple and be aware of everyone else who's passed before.
She said hearing the first-hand accounts of the changes made to nursing in the 1970s highlighted the contrast between then and now.
We've read, done a little bit of research and read about some of the changes that happened in 1978 when the change from hospital training programs to the tertiary education, but actually to have these nurses that were part of that and the administrators that made that all happen is really pretty neat.
After a meet and greet, guests were given a guided tour of the current nursing facilities at the Institute. Sharon Rees, The South Today.
Following an incident on Anzac Day, fire crews discovered that while smoke alarms had been installed, their long-life batteries had not been activated. The South Today went to find out more.
Some modern smoke alarms have long-life batteries that last up to 10 years, but Fire Risk Management Officer Mark Brendenbeck is concerned that people are installing the alarms without activating the battery.
The other day, the crews on the truck have come across a couple of smoke alarms in a house where they attended an oven fire. There was a lot of smoke in the house and they were worried the smoke alarms hadn't activated, so they checked to make sure that they didn't have flat batteries or they weren't faulty. And when they did check, they found that the little plastic tags were still intact and they hadn't been pulled out.
He wants people to be aware that a small, clear plastic tag needs to be removed before the alarm is installed.
Now, if they'd pulled the tags out, screwed it up and pushed the test button, they would have heard a noise, an audible alarm would actually sound in the smoke alarm, and you'd know it was working. Had they not pulled the plastic tag out, put it on the roof and then still push the button, they would have realised that the smoke alarm hadn't worked, so they would have looked for a reason. Hopefully they would have realised that the tag was still in and they needed to pull it out.
This brand of long-life smoke alarm is sold by Mitre 10 without any instructions on the box about having to remove the tag.
So we find the plastic tag, and it may be located on the side on the backing plate, and it will look something similar to this. Grab it firmly, pull it out, and that's done. And so that now should be live. And if we put the smoke alarm on the roof, screw it up, and we'll push the test button, and it's made a noise, so we know that it's actually operating.
Mitre 10 said they would look into updating the instructions that come with long-life smoke alarms. Rudy Adrian, The South Today.
After the break on The South Today, Fear NZ and Canteen have teamed up in a combined fundraiser, and we take a look at the chilly weekend's weather.
Helping New Zealanders to do more. Talk to MTF today.
Oh, I'm not happy with this product demonstration, Ralphie. Oh, relax. It's all about balance. The balance between softness and strength. And my balance is perfect. So we won't fall? Of course not.
Hi, Ralphie.
Oh, hey, whoa.
You fell for it.
Yep, I fell for it.
Cotton Softs. Softness and strength you can trust.
I'm cotton soft on the environment too.
At Action Engineering, the team make their mark as innovators in engineering because they don't just make things, they provide solutions. Call now on 477 1643 or go online to see the services they provide.
At the Hard to Find Bookshop, we sell quality books on all subjects from the rare to the recent, and where viable, we will come to you. We have a great reputation for integrity and honesty, so if you're downsizing or sorting an estate and have books to sell, contact us.
Why wait for seed to germinate? Why not do it the smart way? For instant results, call Ready Lawn today, or for more information, go to readylawn.co.nz.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Thanks for staying with us. Dunedin City Council staff and contractors have been preparing ahead of a heavy rain watch for the city and have worked to clear all DCC stormwater drains. Three Waters Group manager Tom Dyer says crews have been checking screens to ensure they are kept free of debris and gutters are being swept around the city. He says the council doesn't expect the rain to cause widespread issues, but says it's possible there may be pockets of surface flooding. He says the DCC will be monitoring the situation. Scare merchants Fear NZ and Canteen have teamed up in a combined fundraiser to raise awareness and funds for Canteen. Over the next 4 weekends, people are invited to walk through the former Dunedin prison for a nominal fee, where organisers promise a frightening time. Just walking through the former Dunedin prison in daytime is spooky enough. So imagine what it could be like after dark when these props come to life. Rory Foley of Fear NZ began setting up charitable fright fests around 6 years ago and says an experience with a customer inspired him to do it.
And it turned out that she was going through her bucket list, and it was just so, it was hard for her, but she was out there doing it, but actually talk to the families and say, look, she's only got 6 more months to go, and it just made me realise that I wanted to actually contribute back to the community, but in a very unique way, instead of just going out and rattling a bucket.
After expenses, all of the proceeds go to Canteen, and Youth Coordinator Maureen Williams says every amount helps, as the organisation isn't government funded.
So we rely on donations and events and fundraisers like what Fear NZ are putting on for Canteen over the next 4 weekends.
Natalie Largesse lost a brother to cancer a few years ago and says the support the organisation gives people like her is life-changing.
Ever since he was diagnosed, I had Canteen. I've had countless incredible opportunities. I've gone to amazing psychosocial workshops where, it's not only taught me how to cope with what's happened, but actually how to do life and how to be a good member of community, and all these incredible lessons that I would never have had the opportunity to learn.
Both women agree events like this help both the awareness of and gaining funds for the organisation. Natalie Largesse is looking forward to being one of the actors scaring people in the coming weeks. Rory Foley outlines what people can expect.
So this time round, it's completely different in the prison. We've come back again, we've spent a year researching and thinking about how we can make it better. So this time round it's called Quarantine, and there's much more of a zombie feel to this prison, and there's a lot more interaction involved too. So we want the customers to have an absolute awesome time in here.
The zombie-themed Fear NZ Canteen fundraising production is on over the next 4 weekends at the former Dunedin prison. Daryl Baser, The South Today. And now recapping tonight's top stories on The South Today. An Invercargill architect is challenging the decision to close the New Southland Museum and Art Gallery, saying it's based on incorrect assumptions. Fans of hip-hop artist Kendrick Lamar say he's an absolute behemoth and believe he'll have no trouble filling Forsyth Bar Stadium. And a Wanaka-based mechanic is bringing new snow bike technology called Snowmoto to New Zealand for this winter. Now it's time to have a look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT. G'day, Craig Page.
Hi, Daryl. Yeah, I guess news today out of Christchurch that they're looking to move a little more quickly than we thought on their new sports facilities up there, which includes plans for a covered stadium. We've had a bit of a look at what that's likely to mean for Dunedin. I guess we've had a bit of a monopoly in recent years down here with our covered stadium. It's interesting, Terry Davis, the man in charge of Forsyth Bar, said he's not too bothered by it at the moment. He thinks Dunedin's continued to punch above its weight, and the Ed Sheeran concert's, I guess, a classic example of that. It shows we can host big events, and we seem to have a bit of an in with some of the promoters at the moment, so he's not too worried. Christchurch Council's committed something like $250 million to the project. They're hoping the government's going to come to the party with at least that as well. So
wow. It's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money, and interesting how much we got, way back when we started our project.
I wonder what Christchurch
different circumstances granted, but yeah, it will be interesting to see.
I wonder what Christchurch ratepayers think of that.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's going to be a big issue as well. There's still lots of people without services up there, so they're struggling. So they'll be arguing, do we need a stadium? I guess we're expecting more to be announced in next month's budget, so we'll be keeping an eye on that. Sports front, we look at the Highlanders' big clash with the Bulls, their first match in South Africa this weekend. Interesting today with captain Ben Smith, who's considered, I guess, by many the world's best fullback, being named on the wing. So interesting.
Yeah, big call.
Bit of an I guess an explanation from coach Aaron Major, saying that the Bulls are a big kicking side that do like to kick the ball downfield, and he's looking to have some more options to return the ball down. With Fletcher Smith playing, so hopefully he's right.
Cool.
Weekend mix as well for a Saturday. We have a look at the upcoming production of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. It's going to be performed from next week in Dunedin. We find some interesting information about the writer Stephen Elliott, who we unlock a few secrets about his time in Dunedin in the 1980s. So I can't say too much, but it's well worth a read.
Interesting.
And we also catch up with Karen Walker, fashion designer. She's going to be one of the judges at the Idea Emerging Designer competition later this year, next month I think it is. She tells us about, I guess, how she got in the industry and a few tips for people wanting to start out as well, so that's well worth a read as well.
Excellent. Sounds like a huge read. That's
Yeah,
great.
it is. No, there's plenty of reading in it. So
Appreciate it.
Get out
Thanks.
there and buy it.
Cheers.
Thanks, Daryl.
And now it's time for a look at the weekend's weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by MoleMap.
Tonight's southern view is of Anzac flowers at the Cenotaph in Dunedin. Looking at the situation, a cold and miserable weekend is ahead, with rain easing tomorrow and dry but cold cloudy weather on Sunday. However, all is not lost, as it's expected to become fine about the time the kids go back to school on Monday. Looking at the southern towns, fresh winds and showers reign across the region. Those in Balclutha, the Catlins, Gore and Lumsden should prepare for high temperatures of just 8 degrees. Heading to central, we see winds taking charge, which will be gusty in places. Alexandra will be windy with rain and 7 degrees. Queenstown should expect gusty winds and just 6, while Siano and Wanaka should prepare for rain and a high of 7 degrees. Up to the north, like the southern towns, the northern centres are also suffering from a case of cold winds. Waimaru and Timaru should reach 10 degrees, while Omarama and Twizel can expect only 7. In Dunedin tonight, rain with gusty winds and an overnight low of 7 degrees. Those in Dunedin can expect a high of 10 and a low of 5 tomorrow. And on Sunday, expect a low of 5 and a high of 9. And in Invercargill tonight, rain eases with an overnight low of just 6 degrees. Tomorrow, expect showers clearing and sunny periods increasing during the afternoon, with gusty fresh winds easing and a low of 2 degrees and a high of 9. Then on Sunday, it should be mostly fine in Invercargill with a high of 11 and a freezing low of just 0 degrees. And that's our news for this Friday and indeed for the week. For the latest news from the southern region, you can follow us on Facebook and at channel39.co.nz. We leave you tonight with some shots from the week that was. From all of us here at the South Today, have a great weekend and wrap up warm.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.